Hey, how's it going? I got a Tesoro Vaquero here, and I'm not going to go into detail on this metal detector. There's enough videos on about it and directions and that, but the purpose of this video is to show you that super tune and everything I see on about the super tune. Actually, they're missing one key thing that makes this thing punch deeper than literally heck in as far as coins and that. And that's what this video is going to be about, is just showing it. So I'm going to do my best to try to really hurry along and give you as much information as possible so I don't bore you. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to get the camera set up on this little mount here, pointing at it so you can hear the audio real good and see what I'm turning. Alright, when you get these metal detectors, say if you're just bought one, you've never used it, and I got to turn the sensitivity up to 10. I have my discrimination all the way on max, and threshold set to a low hum, and ground balance might be a little bit positive. That's set about right there, so it's ground balanced. We're going to go into a 4-inch quarter that's buried in my test bed that I have here, and that's all I'm going to worry about is depth right now. Hits that quarter just great. 7-inch quarter, as you can see there. By then somebody would already be like, oh my gosh, was told these things are deep, and they ain't doing anything. I mean, can't even pick up a 7-inch. This here is a 11-inch quarter and a 4-inch dime, and then an 8-inch dime. Not very impressive. But now what they have is called super tuning, and there's videos on how people you hold it in the air and you turn your threshold up almost all the way. What I found out, if you're going to turn it up even a little bit high, where you're going to lose your ability to pinpoint, you might as well crank it, because it's going to let the most signal up through. And then you turn your sensitivity all the way up. It's chattering. Just back it down a tiny bit. And that's all that super tuning is on this machine. So now we'll go back to the 4-inch quarter. Real loud report there. You know, you can tell right away that it's something to dig. 7-inch, it's actually pulling that up pretty good. Now we're going to the 11-inch. Nothing. 4-inch dime. An 8-inch dime, which is quite impressive for a fairly turn on and go metal detector, the 8-inch dime. Now, but what I found out, it has more to do with the ground balance on these machines than anything. You have them, a lot of people are saying you should run slightly positive, they're smoother, but if you're looking for deep coins or whatever, I'm telling you, positive, from what I've seen, doesn't help too much for depth. If you were to go slightly negative, it starts pulling more. Now, I've done this with other detectors, and I don't have as good of a outcome on them as I do on this machine. But this is at 11-inch quarter. I'm going to start turning that to the negative. I just turned it a quarter turn to the negative, and it's picking that 11-inch up, that 11-inch quarter up. Unreal. 4-inch dime, 8-inch dime, 4-inch, 11-inch, 7-inch. I can hold the damn thing good 3 inches above it, and it's pulling it easy. And you don't really lose your stability as much as someone would think. You're going to have some falsing in there, but to go from, say, a max of 7 inches to possibly up to a foot deep on a quarter, you're gaining 4 inches, which is just unreal. And as far as a foot deep, we're going to move down here to some deeper items, which this one isn't. This is a silver dollar at 11. But this here's wicked deep. It's a brass candle holder, not real big, but that's 15 inches. And I do have a little bit of metal here and there around it, which I didn't really, wish I would have got out of the soil, but it'll give you a good test. As you can see, no problem there. Belle, you better not be digging in my stuff. Yet, go Belle. Now, this here is a quarter at a full foot, 12 inches deep. And this one here is going to be a lot harder. It's a dime at 11. You can't argue that. Now the next step, what I do is, like I said, I got it super tuned. I got the ground balance 1/4 turned to the negative. Is I'm going to turn that threshold down. And that's what you would think, well, you're taking away from your super tune, but not really. It's just making the sound not as loud, and the reason why I do that is then you got your pinpoint. If you really were to want it, you don't need it with this metal detector, but you are able to tell the depth. As you noticed, all them sound the same, everything, all the way down to the 15-inch brass, sounding off real loud. Well, now you go to the 12-inch quarter, you hear it. It might not sound different on this microphone with a Sony Action Cam, but I'm telling you, with your person's ears, as soon as they hear that, it's real low, quiet tone, and I know right there, hey, that's, you know, discrimination's turned up. That's something pretty deep. If I were to move to something, say, shallow, I believe this is a zinc. I might even pick that up because I got discrimination all the way up on a zinc penny. But here's a copper penny. Pretty loud. Like I said, I got metal up there too. Quite a difference in sound. So basically, in a nutshell, you can tell the depth, and you're going to pull out quite a few deeper items, coins or whatever have you, by running your ground balance to the negative. That's the 11-inch quarter right there, and I'm a full 2 inches off that. 7 or 4-inch. Now, as far as falsing in that, when you have this negative ground balance and everything the way it's set up, like I said, you'd risk having more falsing going on, or maybe picking up nails and that. Well, what we're looking at down here is, I'll throw a picture on what it is. But I have, I think, a dime and a quarter in there. And I'm going to do is, I still got it in the same setting. All that metal in there, you know, I got discrimination turned all the way up. It's not even chattering. Now, if I slow down, it's hitting that quarter. And this is either the dime right in here. I'm simply doing this for the sake of showing you how stable it is yet. Beep and dig. Tesoro.